Hi everyone, today we're going to talk about our brand new marketing and resources website where you can find, download, and share digital and printable assets, including logos, MSDS or SDS sheets, printable salon signage, social media images, retail price lists, and product knowledge sheets. We're going to start by opening our browser and typing in marketing.salonservicegroup.com, and here's our site. So the site is broken down into 3 sections that you can see if you click on this menu at the top. The first section is promotional resources, which is going to contain assets that relate to our current groupie promotions. This section is also linked in our header right here at the top of the screen, and since it pertains to our current groupie promotions, the model matches the cover of our current groupie. This image will change with each new groupie so that they match, but this section is going to stay the same. Our next section is resources by brand, and if you click this little down arrow, you can see a list of all of our brands expands out, and when you click on one of these, it's going to take you to a full page of resources for that brand. So if you scroll down on the main homepage, you have a brand resources grid here as well, and this is going to do the same thing. It's going to take you to those individual brand resource pages. Now I want you to also notice this little pink circle in the corner. Anytime I press this, it's going to jump me right back up to the top of the page. So our last section here is general resources, and this is going to contain all of the pieces that don't relate to a specific brand or a current promotion. You're going to find more generic pieces here, such as COVID-related signage, something like a now hiring social media image, or a holiday gift checklist, things like that. So now that we kind of know where to look for everything, we're going to dive a little deeper into each of these sections, starting with promotional resources. I'm going to go ahead and click here so you can see all of these resources starting to load. Notice at the top, there's a list of brands. These are filters that you can use to narrow down your resources to find exactly what you're looking for. Every page is going to have a set of filters, but this page is the only one that's going to narrow by brand like this. I want to also point out that there's a search bar right here underneath the filters. You can use this at any time. Every page is going to have one of these as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click through these filters a couple of times just so that you can see how the resources swap out, and I'll settle here on these colorproof resources. I also want you to notice the labels over each of these images. Every resource is going to have one of these, and it gives you a quick description of what you're looking at. Most of them are going to list the brand, a description of the item, and what type of resource it is. In this case, we have a couple of colorproof items that say print and a couple that say social. Now, when you download or save these print resources, the items are going to be PDFs that you can print off and hang up or display around your salon. And the social resources are going to be JPEG images that are already the correct size to share to your social media pages. So let's go ahead and go over how to actually download or save these items. Once you decide which item you want, you can go ahead and click on it. The social images are going to open like this in a light box, and I can go ahead and scroll to the next image using these arrows, or scroll back, or if this isn't what I want, I can use that X at the top corner. So I'm going to decide this is the image that I want. I'm going to hold down on it until this pop-up appears. So I can either share it right away in an email or a text message, or I can click add to photos, and that's it. It's now in my camera roll. Now, if you're on a desktop and not on your tablet or phone, you'll want to right click and select save image as in order to save that image. So let's go back to our resources and we'll pick a print resource to download. Like we discussed earlier, these are going to be PDFs that you can print off or hang up, put them in frames, display them however you'd like around your salon. So I'm going to click on that. And as you can see, it's opening up in a new tab in my browser. If you're on a desktop computer and using Firefox, it's going to just automatically save that PDF to your downloads folder. But if you're using any other browser or you're on your phone or your tablet, it's going to open in a new tab just like we saw here. So in order to download that item, I'm going to click on this share icon at the top, or if I'm in Chrome, there's a ... at the bottom right. And I can either send that in an email or a text message, or if I have a printer hooked up, I can select the print option here. I am going to choose to save it to my files, and I will hit save. So now to find that, I'm going to back out of my browser, and my files folder is right here on my main bar, but a lot of times it's someplace like in your utilities folder or somewhere similar. So I'm going to open this up. I'm going to choose desktop and marketing because that's where I saved it. And there's my PDF. So now let's go ahead and open our browser back up. We're going to go back to the site here. And we're going to take a look at the general resources. Now this page is going to function pretty similar to your promotional resources. You're going to download and save everything the same way. The filters are just a little bit different, so you don't have that massive list of brands here since none of this is brand specific. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this COVID folder and just show you how many options we have. And since everything downloads the same as the other page, we're going to go ahead and click the logo at the top to take us back to home. And we're going to go over the brand resources. So I'm going to click on this 1821 section here. Again, you can also find this page by using the navigation menu at the top. But we landed here on a full page of 1821 man-made resources. So again, the functionality of this page is going to be the same, but the filters are just a little bit different because everything on this page is 1821 man-made branded. So looking at these filters, we can see logos, SDS, MSDS sheets, social media, printable signage, product knowledge, and price lists. Generally, all of these brand resource pages are going to have the same main categories, but there are a few that won't have some of the things such as retail price lists or product knowledge sheets. So since we already went over how to download the social media and printable signage, I will click on the product knowledge filter and you're going to see this show up. So this is going to download the same way as you did the printable signage. It's going to be a PDF that opens in a new tab. You can save it to your files. Most of the resources on this entire site are going to download in either a PDF that you can save to files or a JPEG that you can save to your photos. The price lists are going to be the same way. Now, the two that are different are the logos and the SDS MSDS sheets. These are both going to download a zip folder. So we'll go over how to do that real quick. I'm going to click back to all resources. We're going to scroll down. I see here my 1821 man-made logo files. So I am going to click on that. And as you can see, a pop-up appeared asking if I want to download. I do want to download, so I'm going to click there. And you can see up in the top here, the progress bar is going forward. So now that that progress is complete, I am going to back out of my browser and go to the files folder again. This time I'm going to select the downloads folder, and here we have my 1821 man-made zip file. So if I tap that, it's going to expand into a folder. I can click and there are my files. Now, if you're on a desktop computer, the pop-up is going to look a little bit different, but it functions the same way. You just click and save the file and find it in your downloads folder, and then just double click to expand that zip file and turn it into a folder. So that's how you're going to download both the logos or the MSDS files. Okay, so now that we've gone over where everything is and how to download everything, I think you should have a pretty easy time navigating this site. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching and happy downloads.